Hey, what is up everybody? Zerofats here coming at you on behalf of AdventuresOnTheRiver.com, the place where you can learn to earn a full-time income using the power of Amazon.com. I got a cough drop on my mouth. I apologize. Man, I've been sick all weekend. Sick as a dog, man. My head feels like it's full of snot. It has sucked. Especially because I've been trying to do this exercise program so I can lose a few pounds. But anyways, I'm starting to make my recovery now. And anyways, I wanted to do a video real quick for you guys because I wanted to talk to you about something. I had a buddy of mine online, one of my viewers, one of my subscribers, always talking to me, asking me questions about this and that and the other, and was talking about the bestseller ranking and, you know, I always tell people who ask me, use the bestseller ranking as a tool to get more consistent sales. You know, I recommend the top 5.75% of all the books on Amazon. Okay, top 5.75%. Let me just talk about it a little bit, and I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. I wrote this down because I thought it was relevant. But let me just find this paper I got here. This is a great little definition of the bestseller ranking. Bestseller ranking. Okay. What is it? In a nutshell, the period of time since an item sold last. The period of time since an item last sold, okay? This is a ranking that's updated hourly, okay? It ranks all the items in that category. So let's use books as an example. That's what I make a lot of money on, is books, okay? It updates all the books. Not all the books that are listed in the bestseller ranking, okay? All the books that have sold, alright? Amazon has so many books listed, 45 million books listed, okay? But not all of them have sold. And if they haven't sold, they're not ranked. Once an item is sold, then it's ranked, okay? And then the bestseller ranking updates hourly, okay? So the more time that goes between sales of that one book, the higher its rank. Right? So the shorter time in between sales, the lower its rank. The book that's ranked number 1 is selling a lot of books very, very frequently a day. You know, a book that's in the top 100, top 200, it's probably selling 500, 800 copies a day. You know, this book's selling very frequently. It's got a very low bestseller ranking. Okay? So what does that mean for you guys? What does that mean for booksellers out there? What does that mean for Amazon sellers in general? It means you can use a bestseller ranking to determine how frequently a book's selling. Now, you can use that and you can average, you can estimate consistency of sales with that. If you stock your inventory with low ranked books, you know they sell fairly often. Now, I say the top 5.75% of all books listed on Amazon, okay? There's about 45 million books listed on Amazon right now, okay? Now, if you take the top 5.75% of that's like the cream of the crop, okay? All those books are going to have bestseller rankings of about, 2 million or so, around 2 million, you know, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. Around that 2 million mark, you know, I try to shoot for that. Now, I found that those books, they sell generally between under 2 months, a little over 2 months, an average of about 2 months, right? These are the kinds of things you want to stock your inventory with. Now, here's what I wanted to talk to you about this today. Excuse me, sorry. Buddy was telling me, well, look, man, all my inventory are right in that range, you know, 1 to 2 million. Man, I haven't sold these things for like 9 months, man. They're not selling, okay? And I said, no, that's wrong, dude. That's wrong. It's not right. Something's wrong. You're either pricing them wrong or your description's messed up. Because, see, the thing about it is, guys, when it comes to consistent sales, it's not just your bestseller ranking. That's a big part of it. And that part of it is getting the right inventory, okay? But there's a couple other little things that you need to do, too. You need to be pricing your books right. Okay? Because if you're not pricing competitively, if you're not pricing them right, then you're not going to sell them. Okay? Number 2, you need a good description. Because look, if you got 5 copies of a book listed at $10, they're all listed at the exact same price. The way I teach it on my website is, when you list yours, you list it at $10 too. You don't list it at $9.50. That's a bad idea. That's a good way to collapse the market. You list it at $10 also. But now you're number 6. Now you got 6 books listed at $10. How do you sell it? You sell it with your description. Your description has to be right. And my website's going to teach you how to do the description right. But that's another thing you got to worry about. Why aren't you getting sales if all your stuff is good inventory? It's hot. It's in the top 5%, top 6%. Okay? And you're not getting sales. Why? Okay, well, there's got to be a reason. And part of being in business for yourself is figuring out why. Why aren't my stuff selling? I know these things sell. They have good seller rankings. Why aren't mine selling? It's your job to figure that out. I want to give you a couple examples of how the bestseller ranking can deceive you today. That's what I wanted to do. Okay? First one is this. Okay? This is a book my business just sold not too long ago. Okay, this is the Trenton Spiritual Gifts Analysis. You're not gonna find too many copies of this on Amazon. I'll tell you why. I'm the one who created the listing. All right, I created the listing for this. Very few people are gonna have it up there. Okay, I got lucky. I found it. A guy bought a church, and he had a ton of church books. The library. Whole library of church books he wanted. He sold them all to me for $100. It was like 3,000 books. So, you know, I got all this and this was one of those little things. I had like 20 of these things or something. It's just like a little pamphlet. I was selling this thing for $10. I had like 20 of them. Alright? But I want to concentrate on this copy right here. Alright? Now, I sold this for $10. Not like $9.99, $10. I created the listing for this. Now, if you got on there today, now if you acquired one of these today, okay, and you got on there, you look at that and you say, oh shit, this book's going for $9.99. And look, it's got a seller ranking of, here, I wrote it down. It's got a seller ranking of 496,000. Shit, it's got a seller ranking of 496,000. That's awesome. I'm going to list it. Bam, this should sell within a month or so. Well, there's another thing you got to look at. Okay, yeah, it's got a good bestseller ranking. That's great. But how many people are selling it? Now, if you looked at this Trenton Spiritual Gifts Analysis, you'd probably see 1 or 2 other people selling it. Okay, 1 or 2. It's not very many people. Okay, it's not enough people. It means one of those people created the listing. That means there's not very many people selling it. That means there's not a lot of copies out there. Okay, that means there's not a lot of people who are buying it. So what that is an indication of, that bestseller ranking is reflecting the fact that a few of them just sold recently. Okay, and it boosted the bestseller ranking considerably. You check it in about a month, it might not be that high. Okay, now look, I want to give you the stats on this, right? This Trenton Spiritual Gifts Analysis, this copy, now I listed it 10/10/2012. Okay. It sold on 3/3/2014. That's 1 year and 4 months I held on to this copy. What does that mean? That means it's a long tail sale. That means I waited like a year and a half to make that $10. I listed it like a year and a half ago. Why did I do that? Well, here's why. It's thin. It takes up virtually no space. It didn't cost me anything really to hold on to that book. It didn't cost me any space, and it was $10. It was a $10 that I could afford to wait on. I could afford to wait on that $10. Didn't take up a lot of my space. I had multiples of it, and I was just gonna sit on them and wait and let the money roll in for it. But it's a long tail sale. It's a long tail sale. In this case, the seller ranking deceived me. Or it didn't deceive me, but it could have deceived you. The seller ranking would have deceived you. So yes, look at the seller ranking. But in this case, there's not very many sellers. Maybe 1, maybe 2 sellers. That's it. So the best seller ranking becomes less true. It becomes less true if there's less sellers. Now a best seller ranking with like 15, 20, 30 sellers, you know, and you know, it's like 100, 300, 1,000, whatever, you can trust that more. You got a lot of sellers selling it, and it's rolling. You know what I mean? It's good. But these books with like one seller, and they got a low bestseller ranking, you can't trust that as much. That means a few copies just sold, you know, but there's only one seller. There's only one person selling it. That's probably the person who created the listing. It's a long tail sale. More times than not, it's a long tail sale. And it doesn't hurt to put it up, but you gotta be ready to sit on it for a while. You gotta be ready to sit on it for a while. And here's the important thing. You cannot have this type of product filling your entire inventory, okay? Because if you do, you're not going to be making enough sales. You're not going to be making consistent sales filling your inventory with products like that. Long tail sales are great, you guys, but if they are like 50, 60, 70% of your inventory, you're not going to be selling enough, okay? You need the cream of the crop. That's a false reading right there. 400,000 bestseller ranking and only one or two sellers, it's a false reading. It's not going to be what you're looking for. It's okay for a long tail sale, but that's not what you want for 90% of your inventory. You want the shit that has a lot of listings and has a great bestseller ranking and is still going for $10, $15, $20, $30. That's what you want. Right? That's what you want for 90-95% of your inventory. That's how you create consistency. Let me show you another example. This is a book. Picked it up at the thrift store several months ago. Okay. This book right here, the Harlequin tea set and other stores. All right. This book right now on Amazon, it's going for $1.91. Right. It's got a bestseller ranking of 615,000. Okay, I sold this book for $7.50. How did I do that? I sold it in a very good condition for $7.50. It's going in new condition for $1.91. How the hell did I do that? Here's how I did it. I listed this under collectible condition. It's a first edition. It's collectible and it's first edition. Guess what? When you start listing things under collectible first edition, you might as well throw that bestseller ranking of 600,000 right out the window. Throw it right out the window. Because that 600,000 is for these people. Here's what's boosting that ranking. This book's going for a penny. This book's going for a penny used. 1 penny. There's a hell of a lot more people buying it for a penny used and paying their $3.99 for their shipping than there is people buying the first edition version of it for $7.50. A hell of a lot more people. So I could have listed this for a penny and sold it months ago, but I chose to list it for $7.50 and take my premium. My premium was, hey, it's a collectible, it's a first edition, and it's worth $7.50. So I chose the long in this situation. I chose the long tail sale over the quick sale. You know what they say? What is it? The slow dime over the quick nickel. This is one of those situations where I chose the slow dime over the quick nickel. Listen, I listed this 7/25/2013. I sold it on 3/3/2014. That's 7+ months. I stored this book to sell it at $7.50. And that's okay. I made that decision. You have to make those decisions. Alright? It's okay to have some long tail sales in your inventory. But you've got to understand, I can't have my inventory full of books that take 7 months to sell. You can't do it. If you just look at the bestseller ranking, you're going to think, oh man, I can sell this. I can sell this shit quick. Wrong. You can sell it quick if you list it correctly. You can't list it under collectible condition. It's a first edition collectible and sell it for $7.50 when it's going for $1.21 or $1.91 brand new. There's going to be more people who want to buy this brand new at $1.91 than want to buy it collectible at $7.50. Do you understand? Once you take that collectible status, the bestseller ranking goes right out the window. Now all of a sudden, you're dealing with a long tail sale. I generally don't see any collectibles that are not long tail sales. if you choose that collectible status, you're going to be dealing with a long tail sale. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Was this one worth it? I had some room in my inventory. Generally, I wouldn't say $750 is worth it. But what happened here was, I'll tell you what happened here. I don't like to make under $2 for any books. I don't want to get paid less than $2. Okay? Well, this one was going for $1.91 brand new, and it was going for a penny used. So the only way for me to make up the 25 cents I spent on this was to list it under collectible for $750. Alright? Because collectible, I could get the $750 for it. Okay? And that's what I got. I made money. I chose to make money in the long term versus losing my 25 cents in the short term. Now, what is that dependent on? It's dependent on storage. How much are you paying for storage? How much room do you have to store it? How long can you afford to store it? Okay, those are two examples, right? It's two examples right there of how bestseller rankings can deceive you. So bestseller rankings are great. You know, the Agatha Christie thing, you got to think. I mean, it had a bestseller ranking in the 600,000s. There was plenty of listings. So the seller ranking was accurate. It was accurate, but the price was wrong. Okay, the price was bad for me. Now, yeah, you could have I could have sold that in a couple months with that bestseller ranking if I would have followed that market and either got a penny for it, you know, or something like that. I didn't want that. I wanted to boost my profit, so I chose the collectible route. It was a first edition, so it was my right to choose that collectible route and to make the $750. But here's what I'm telling you. Those two cases right there, they're great, and you can make that choice, but you have to understand, if you're trying to run a business, right, and you're trying to pay your bills with that business, you have to stock your inventory with real cream of the crop. Those two examples right there are not cream of the crop. They both have great bestseller rankings. Neither of them are cream of the crop. One of them doesn't have enough sellers, so one of those sellers just sold some and it's produced this false bestseller ranking. But your indication is there's not enough sellers. There's hardly no sellers selling this thing. Okay? You can't trust the bestseller ranking if there's only one or two sellers. Alright? Number two, this right here, your profit margin's too low. Used, that book's going for a penny. New, it's going for $1.91. That's terrible. You can't stock your inventory with books going for that cheap. Alright? It's got a good bestseller ranking, but guess what? You can't make money off of it. Your profit margin's too low. So you have to decide, do you want to take the long tail sale as a collectible, or do you want to get rid of it and lose the 25 cents and focus on stuff that's going to sell faster? Now here's what I'm telling you. You can have a few things like that, alright? But you need 90 to 95% of your inventory to be real cream of the crop. Not these, alright? Real cream of the crop. Stuff that has a lot of sellers and stuff that is selling at that bestseller ranking of around 2 million or less. I mean, that's what you need. And not only that, you need them in volume, alright? Don't even talk to me about consistent sales unless you have at least 1,000 books in your inventory, okay? Yeah, you're going to get some consistent sales, but you know, you need a good 800 to 1,000 books in your inventory. I mean, that's just the way it is. And you need them at a nice hot capacity. You know what I mean? You need those real bestseller ranked books that are selling like 2 million, you know, 1.5 million, you know, all the way down to 100,000s. You need books in that range that are selling. Man, you want as many $10 to $20 books as you can find. And you want to get them cheap. You want them cheap, man. You want to go to garage sales and get them cheap. Now, generally, my experience in buying books in bulk, usually 1/3 of those books are going to be worth money. 2/3 of those books are going to be books that aren't worth money, and you're going to have to like donate them, or you're going to have to find secondary markets for them, like consignment shops or whatever. You're going to have to find other ways to get rid of those 2/3. A lot of people call that your dead wood. But it's that 1/3 you care about, and that 1/3 is how you're going to pay your bills. So anyways, I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. The bestseller ranking is a powerful, powerful tool, but it is not as powerful as your mind. Now your mind has to differentiate between, is this a true bestseller ranking, or whatever. You have to determine that stuff. If there's only one seller, guess what? You can't have faith in the bestseller ranking now. Okay? It is a long tail sale. I don't care. If there's only one seller, it's a long tail sale. In my book, that's just how it is. We're talking about Amazon, you guys. Do you realize how many people are making money on Amazon? I mean, if you have, look at this game. Look at this game. Oh, look, I found a game at a thrift store. I only paid $0.25 for it. Now, if I get on Amazon, you guys, it's a billion-dollar company. Everyone around the world is using this thing. And there are tons of people making tons of money selling on Amazon. So let me tell you something. If you get on there with a product and it's not listed, guess what? It's a long tail sale. It's not going to be selling really fast. Does that mean no one's going to buy it? Absolutely not. You're going to find someone on there to buy it faster than you're going to find someone on Craigslist in your neighborhood to buy it. Because now you've broadened your scope to the entire country. And the entire world, really, in a lot of cases. But let's say you scoped it to the entire country. Now all over the country they can see your product. So yeah, you have a better chance of selling it. But if it's not listed up there and you have to create the listing, get ready to sit on it. Get ready to sit on it for a little while. There's a good chance. Yeah, you have the occasion where you list the product and boom, you sell it within, a week or two. Yeah, that happens sometimes, but not that often. There's a way better chance that if you listed it, if you created the listing, dude, you're going to be sitting on it for a little while. Make sure it's worth it to create the listing. Don't create a listing for a product that's only worth $2. It's not worth it. Make sure you can get 10 or 20 bucks out of it, at least. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. I don't want anybody out there to fail, okay? The bestseller ranking tool is super powerful. Amazon gives you a way to see what inventory is selling on their site. Alright, that's super powerful. You can't go into Target and be like, hey, listen, can I get a ranked log of everything that's selling at your store so I can create my own store and I can, sell the stuff that's selling and not sell the stuff that's not selling? You can't do that. But Amazon gives it to you. They give it to you, man, just like that. Look, here's everything that's selling in our book category. This shit right here is selling the best. This shit right here is selling the worst. This shit right here, it's not selling at all. They give that to you, right? Use it. But use your brain too, okay? You gotta understand, if it has a good bestseller ranking and it's only got one seller, guess what? Someone just bought like 5 or 6 of those suckers and it boosted the bestseller ranking. But it'll go back down again. They're not buying them that often. Anyways, I hope this video has made some sense to you guys. If you want to learn more about selling on Amazon, you want to learn more about all this stuff, check out my website, adventuresontheriver.com. It is $10 for a lifetime membership to that website. I'll also teach you about digital stuff, selling ebooks. Also, I got an Amazon FBA module in the pipeline, so that'll be coming out. The next 3-4 months, that'll be coming out on adventuresontheriver.com, and it's going to help people. It's not going to be any more money. If you buy the $10 membership now, then you're good. You're there. You'll be ready for the FBA module when it comes out. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to make like real money and not have to work real hard, FBA is the way to go. But whatever, you can do the work yourself. You can definitely make enough to pay your bills. You got to be smart about it. You got to do your research. You have to study. You constantly have to be asking yourself, why did this work? Why did this not work? Why is this not working? How do I make this work? Man, if you're an entrepreneur and you're out there, you need to be asking these questions. You need to be relentless. Relentless. They don't teach kids in America how to save their money. They don't teach kids in America how to make their money work for them. They're teaching kids in America math, science, algebra, geography, history. I mean, Why aren't they teaching kids in America, you know, hey, this is how you save money. This is how an APR works. This is how interest works. This is how banks work. This is how mortgages work. Why aren't they teaching kids those things? The only way you learn those things is if you go to college and you take those things. Otherwise, you're just going to be an idiot about finance. You know, a long time ago, you know, when Americans first came to this country, the American settlers, the American pioneers, guess what? They teach their kids how to survive. They teach them how to make horseshoes, how to blacksmith, how to fix saddles, how to farm, how to defend themselves against wild animals. They teach their children that stuff. Guess what? If you want to survive in this world today, you need to teach your children and you need to teach yourself how to survive in this world. And how you survive in this world is taking care of your money. Making your money make more money. This is how you survive in this world. And guess what? That's what the rich are teaching their children. That's not what the poor are teaching their children. The poor are sending their children to public schools where the public schools teach those children how to take their parents' job. Okay? Why? Because someone has to work at the factory, someone has to work at the department store, someone has to work at the hospital. I mean, it's a repeating cycle. If you think that top 1% of America, you know, wants you up there with them, you are wrong. There's a reason why social mobility is at an all-time low in this country. There are people at the top who don't want you at the top, okay? They want you to fit into your place in the system. Go to school, get your generic education, then go work at the factory down the road. You think that's not planned out? You think that someone's not thinking about that? Why would they not teach you finance? Why would they not teach you about money in school? All right. I'm getting off topic. Think about this stuff. I'm not kidding you. I'll get off my soapbox. But what I'm telling you is the truth, okay? You think about it. Look it up. Great Gatsby curve. Why is it so hard for you to move between classes right now? There's a reason. It's not coincidence. It's not coincidence, all right? Educate yourself. Learn as much as you can. That's the only way that you're going to be able to jump classes. That's the only way you're going to be able to be successful. You can't be spoon-fed. No one's going to spoon-feed you. But you are, and here's your advantage. You are living in the age of information, okay? The information is out there for you to take. All you have to do is take it. All you need is the willpower. All you need is the sheer force of will to go out there and find what you want. Like the video back a few videos ago, and I was talking to you guys about Barclays. No one's going to tell you about Barclays. No one's going to tell you about that at school. Why? Because you got banks all over your neighborhood that would love for you just to put your money in their bank and let them give you a 0.01% interest on it. Let them give you nothing. They're giving you nothing to put your money in their bank. And they're going to take your money and they're going to lend it out to your neighbor at 3 to 5% interest on a home loan, on a mortgage loan, all right? Or a car loan. And they're going to get the 3 to 5% interest. And guess what? They're only going to loan it out to the people who can afford it. All those poor motherfuckers who are putting their money in the bank and trying to save money, they're not even going to qualify for that loan. They're not even going to qualify for that car loan. Not even going to qualify. The bank's using all this poor bastard's money and they're loaning it out to people they know can afford it. 3 to 5%. That's why you don't know about Barclays. Educate yourself. Sorry for the language. I get hyped up. I start thinking about this stuff. It drives me mental. Learn as much as you can. Don't stop at my videos. Educate yourself. Learn as much as you can. I'll catch up with you guys next time. Good luck in all your ventures. Peace.